Arnsenkel. Catch up on what you missed. Day 2 of Trumpetfest 2016 is officially done, and Donald Trump has gone from presumptive nominee to actual Republican nominee for president. Here's everything you need to catch up on what happened. The Speaker of the House, who initially delayed endorsing Trump and has repeatedly publicly disagreed with the Republican nominee, is now pleading for unity behind Trump. "Our candidates will be giving their all, their utmost, and every one of us has got to do the same," he told the convention Tuesday. "So what do you say? What do you say that we unite this party at this crucial moment when unity is everything?" The Wisconsin Republican waited to endorse Trump after the New York developer had won enough states to clinch the nomination, saying he wasn't ready. A month later, he pressed on with publicly endorsing him, and within days in June, Ryan was ripping Trump for remarks about a Latino judge that Ryan called "sort of like the textbook definition of a racist comment." On Tuesday, 6 weeks later, he urged Republicans to get on the offensive and stay there. "Let us compete in every part of America, and turn out at the polls like every last vote matters, because it will," Ryan said. "Fellow Republicans, what we have begun here, let's see it through. Vertical line. Let's win this thing. Vertical line. Let's show America our best and nothing less." Tiffany Trump, the recent college graduate, offered stories about how her father wrote sweet notes on her report cards and wasn't as ruthlessly focused on results as one might think. Donald Trump Jr., executive vice president of the Trump Organization, spoke about watching his dad run businesses since he learned to walk. He sought to paint his father as an executive who gets down in the trenches and is not a hands-off manager locked away in an office. "For my father, impossible is just the starting point," he said, adding that just a year ago, Trump winning the nomination seemed an impossibility. Despite Donald Jr.'s hinting at potential nerves earlier, that was not readily evident. While New Jersey Gov. Chris Christie delivered a stem-winding speech seeking to indict presumptive Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton for the email controversy and other issues during her tenure as Secretary of State, her team was ready with an epic response. Her social media team also reacted as Trump officially clinched the Republican nomination for president. It was New York State that put Trump over the vote threshold he needed. Donald Trump Jr., alongside siblings Ivanka, Eric and Tiffany, made the announcement that the state threw 89 votes on his father's total. The official process had started shortly after 6 p.m. Yet when the presiding officer began calling a roll asking each state how many delegates they are pledging to what candidates, it's often the favorite part for political convention geeks. There were all manner of ceremonial machinations, like the sometimes cheesy introductions state delegates delivered. The representative from American Samoa, for example, before announcing its 9 delegates for Trump, noted that Samoa is the greatest exporter of players to the National Football League. And it is also ceremonial to allow the presumptive nominee's home state to put the candidate over the top. USA Today's David Jackson has more on the big moment here. the executive director of the National Rifle Association's lobbying arm delivered a clear message. If Hillary Clinton is elected, kiss your guns goodbye. Chris Cox said the Supreme Court pickup for grabs means the right to bear arms could be in jeopardy. Friends, that question is on the ballot in November, he said. Cox touted the lifelong NRA membership of Donald Trump and sons Eric and Donald and said the NRA and its 5 million members would do everything they could to help elect Trump. Senator Ron Johnson, Wisconsin, a prime-time speaker Tuesday and one of the most vulnerable senators up for re-election this fall, is walking the same tightrope as a number of his fellow Republicans have chosen, pledging to support Trump but not necessarily endorse him. I sat down with him before his speech and tried to ask what the difference is. More than once. Don't worry about the words, he asserted. Here's the clip. For the whole video, it's on our Facebook page here. He seems to have a good sense of humor about his father's hair. It started with a For the Record Books tweet from former GOP presidential candidate and Senator Bob Dole. We may have officially jumped the shark in Cleveland as Melania's Speechgate fallout forced Republicans into verbal pretzels to explain why portions of the prospective First Lady's speech Monday mimicked word for word those of Michelle Obama's convention speech in 2008. Sean Spicer, communications director at the Republican National Committee, actually quoted sparkled from My Little Pony in an explanation on CNN. Melania Trump said, "The strength of your dreams and willingness to work for them." Twilight sparkled from My Little Pony said, "This is your dream. Anything you can do in your dreams you can do now," Spicer said, adding that the inspirational phrases in Melania Trump's speech have been used by many people, including John Legend and Kid Rock. He said the portions that mirrored the First Lady's remarks comprised only 70 words in 3 passages in a 2,000-word address. "It's sad that we've taken this amazing moment with the world introduction of Melania Trump and gone through and allowed the Hillary Clinton campaign to say, hey, we googled a bunch of phrases and matched it up to 3 things Mrs. Obama said." Well, the media and Twitter didn't seem to want to let it go. And John Legend delivered an epic response, quoting Taylor Swift: "An employee at the Department of Justice took to the agency's official Twitter account to share thoughts on Melania's speech and they were dutifully captured before being deleted." The Huffington Post's Ryan J. Riley reports the agency's response. One day after Omarosa Manigault announced the Trump campaign had tagged her as the new director of outreach to the African American community, film director Spike Lee on Tuesday unleashed an insanely cutting diatribe against her on Instagram. "Who's next? Step and fetch it. Aunt Jamila. Uncle Ben," he wrote alongside the photo of her with a clown nose. She replied in a now-deleted tweet accusing him of using divisive terms and taking a cheap shot. USA Today's Chaliza M.